man charged with killing 2 people back in 2020 learns his fate in court, what he said before being sentenced.
Also, an investigation underway in Adams County after a man is shot and killed by law enforcement there.
And later, Governor Evers on the campaign trail again. We'll hear from him on what his priorities are ahead of the November election. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Kari Sanford, the man found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide back in 2020, will now spend the rest of his life in prison with no possibility of parole. Sanford charged with murdering his then-girlfriend's parents.
Here is how we got to this point. In March of 2020, Dr. Beth Potter and her husband, Robin Kari, were found shot and left for dead in the UW Arboretum. A jogger had found their bodies.
And then less than a month later in April, Sanford was charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. An accomplice, Elijah LaRue, was also arrested.
Later in May of 2022, after a week-long jury trial, Sanford was found guilty of killing the couple.
And finally today, Judge Ellen Burr is sentencing Sanford to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Our Catherine Merck joins us live now outside the Dane County Courthouse after listening to the sentencing inside the courtroom today. Catherine?
Before giving out the sentencing today, the judge said that today is no day for celebration for either Kari Sanford or the family of the victims. Rather, today is a day to protect others moving forward in hopes that Sanford becomes a changed man behind bars.
I sentence you to life in prison without eligibility for release.
It's what the judge described as a sad and somber day for both sides of the courtroom.
2 lives were taken away. Another life will be dramatically changed.
Before his fate was determined, Kari Sanford shared his own perspective.
What is a typical teenager?
His team said his difficult home life should have been taken into account, asking for him to be able to petition for a parole hearing after 25 years in prison.
If taking my life is what it takes to repay them and to resolve the grievances of this beautiful family and define justice, I would be honored, Your Honor. Take it.
These words wouldn't be enough for the judge or the state.
He is the personification of a nightmare.
Both agreed that the 2 lives that have been lost were irreplaceable.
You have utter disregard for human life.
This man's life is now changed forever in hopes for what the judge says is to protect everyone else.
Anyone in the public, no matter how kind they are to you, no matter how generous they are to you, no matter how much they try to help you, they are at risk of being killed by you.
Sanford's accomplice, Elijah LaRue, was also charged today. He's getting 8 years of prison with 10 years of parole. Reporting live in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. A DOJ investigation is now underway after an Adams County Sheriff's deputy shot and killed a man last night. The events leading up to that shooting are still unclear. It happened in the town of Strong's Prairie on Cumberland Avenue around 7 p.m. That's when the deputy was called to the area after a report of a man walking down the road. The deputy approached that man, found him to be armed with a firearm, and then the deputy shot the man, killing him on scene.
It was in the evening after supper time, 6 o'clock or so. Heard a few gunshots, probably 4, and then a pause and 2 more. Didn't think nothing of it because of being in the country. We hear that every now and then. And didn't give it another thought until officers showed up at 1:15, 1:20 in the morning, wanted to ask questions.
He also says he saw the victim walking up and down the street many times before. We reached out to the Adams County Sheriff's Office, who said they couldn't speak about the incident.
Madison police is warning of a scam caller pretending to be a sergeant. They say the scammer told someone that they had missed a court date and needed to pay money at a kiosk at a local address to fix the situation. The person was not fooled and did not hand over any money or information. MPD officials say they will never ask citizens for money, gift cards, or other valuables. If you believe you you are being scammed, you can hang up and call 911 dispatchers to verify whether you are actually being called by a police officer.
Time now to check your certified most accurate forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
It's been a beautiful day so far. Temperatures have been warm, but the humidity levels have been down, and we've had plenty of sunshine. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows just how sunny it is. Just a couple of fair weather cumulus clouds that are fading as we start to head towards sunset. You can see very little in the way of cloud cover across the state other than those fair weather cumulus clouds popping up, and they're already starting to die down. Doppler track, free of precipitation across the upper Midwest, and the next couple of days will be dry as well. Dew-point temperatures are in the lower to middle 60s. That might lead to some patchy areas of fog overnight, but temperatures right now are comfortably warm. 81 degrees in Madison, still 86 in Lone Rock and 85 in La Crosse, but already in the upper 70s close to Milwaukee. Here in Dane County, it's 79 degrees in Belleville, 79 in the town of Perry, and 80 in Sun Prairie. Look for skies to be mostly clear this evening. It'll be mild, temperatures dropping off to about 68 degrees by late evening. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes a change in the overall weather pattern as we head toward the second part of the weekend.
Gary, thank you. Dane County pushing back on a federal lawsuit today saying it has no legal or factual basis. The Republican candidate for sheriff is suing the sheriff's office claiming retaliation and an illegal search. Naomi Coles was first to break the news to us yesterday. She joins us now with the latest. Naomi.
This political race between candidate Anthony Hamilton and Sheriff Calvin Barrett was already a bit messy. And today, the county says he was disciplined after using a slur, not as retaliation. In a statement, they said, quote, "There is no legal or factual basis for Mr. Hamilton's allegations or demands, nor for the unfounded conspiracy theories." Hamilton accuses them in his lawsuit of doing an illegal search last March, lying in records about it, and retaliating against him for raising internal alarms by taking him off the SWAT team and giving him an unpaid suspension. In the county statement, they don't address the other parts of those allegations, just the reasons for his discipline. According to the lawsuit, sheriff officials told Hamilton they needed to do a third-party investigation into the incident. I asked the DOJ today if they ever got that request. They tell me they did not.
Naomi, thank you. Disabled voters in the state will not need to certify their disability when they have someone else return their ballots. That guidance passed last night by the State Elections Commission. It comes after a federal court ruled that Wisconsin must allow disabled voters who are unable to physically return their ballots to get help from a third party. There was debate among party lines on the commission on whether to make voters certify their disability, but a single Republican commissioner crossed party lines to vote with Democrats.
And on the campaign trail today, Governor Evers toured an elementary school in Janesville. The stop comes just one day after the governor released his future education funding plan. Political reporter Will Keneally caught up with the governor and asked about his priorities. Will?
So the $2 billion spending plan that the governor proposed wouldn't come into effect this year. Instead, it's a wish list for his budget next year if he wins re-election.
It's a large ask. It's $2 billion, but we've been able to, over the years before my time as governor, cut funding, and our schools need it.
Evers' plan covers a wide range of education funding, like addressing staffing shortages and allocating more resources for student mental health.
Even without a pandemic, I think we're recognizing that some of the learning that doesn't happen well is based upon mental health issues and behavioral health issues.
That's something educators see day to day.
Oftentimes we're not trained and we're not the experts in exactly how to handle a lot of those situations that we oftentimes have to deal with on the spot.
Evers' proposal would fund at least one full-time staff member per school focused on mental health services, with some additional funding based on enrollment.
I know in some schools and some other districts and a few schools in the school district of Janesville have like hope counseling and some counseling services right in-house, and I would love to see a lot more of that because there's definitely a need. And
Evers faces some significant barriers for his plan to be implemented. He first has to win re-election, but also would have to get the Republican legislature to sign off. In response to the plan, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos called it an election year ploy. Evers says, though, the schools need the funding.
They shouldn't have to go to referendum every 2 or 3 years and beg the local people to raise taxes on themselves. There's a state responsibility here.
So Evers faces Tim Michels in the general election this November. In response to the plan, the Michels campaign said in a statement that, quote, the Evers plan for education is the same as it always is. More money and more bureaucracy. The tired old Evers approach has not worked. For his part, Michels' education plan includes increasing parental school choice and expanding trade education.
Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, the last night market in Madison is tomorrow. The special ceremony they plan to have along with it.
And experts from Wisconsin DHS answering questions about recommendations after the approval of updated COVID-19 boosters. That's just ahead.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
And take time for kids.
At McCann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. At McCann's, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. And remember, at McCann's, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McCann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Looks like they finally got rid of that trip hazard. They pump it full of mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Where are the patched holes? Where's the splashed mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Concrete lifting technologies can quickly raise and level any concrete surface using cutting-edge foam technology made in Wisconsin. Fast and accurate and eco-friendly.
How did those guys do it? Where are the holes? Where's the mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The new COVID booster is already in Wisconsin, and health leaders are urging you to get the shot.
The update specifically targets the dominant Omicron subvariants in addition to the original strain. Brady Mallory has a closer look at who's eligible. Brady?
Well, this time Wisconsin isn't rolling out the vaccine to specific groups at a time. That means many of you can get the shot right away. Pharmacies, health centers, and clinics are expected to make appointments available as their booster doses arrive. The updated boosters are recommended as a single dose for people 12 and older who have received their primary COVID-19 vaccine series and have not received a COVID-19 vaccine dose in the last 2 months.
They are open to anyone who is eligible at this point. So it's similar to our fall booster campaign for influenzas. For influenza vaccine, they are available, and we encourage everyone to get a vaccine when they're able.
Now, people 12 and older are eligible to receive the updated Pfizer COVID-19 booster, and those 18 and older are eligible to receive the updated Moderna COVID-19 booster. You can find where to get an appointment in your area by visiting vaccines.gov and then typing in your zip code.
Brady, thank you. It's still ahead. Senator Tammy Baldwin reintroduces a piece of legislation to make sure Wisconsinites can watch the Packers anywhere in the state.
Also, students from multiple grade levels head back to school today. What the Waunakee School District says is one of the areas it is most proud of.
Plus, when we can expect our next chance of rain, Gary has your complete forecast next.
Hyve hot deals are super hot this Friday through Sunday. Our special recipe brats, 8 for only $12. Plus, get a 16-cent fuel saver. And Doritos or Ruffles, only $1.88 each when you buy 2. Check out HyveDeals.com for more deals.
Fry Construction wants to thank you for once again voting us Best of Madison 3 years running with 27% off gutters or insulation. Your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best of Madison 3 years in a row. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Save 27% off gutters or insulation with any full roof replacement project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Fjords has been crafting beautifully designed functional furniture since 1941. Every aspect of Fjords furniture has been carefully engineered to create a higher level of relaxation. Right now at the Century House, purchase any Fjords furniture and receive up to 20% off. All models, all sizes, all colors. Experience the unmatched relaxation you can only achieve in Fjords furniture. Relaxation made beautiful. Visit the Century House at 3420 University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com.
Attention foodies. With this fusion of prime rib steak, melted provolone, and other magical melty stuff, Orbeez is now officially a fusion restaurant. Chef Smooch, Orbeez, we have the meat.
Family-owned Brothers Maine is celebrating Labor Day with special deals on Whirlpool kitchen and laundry appliances. With our low price guarantee and free delivery, you can kick back and relax. We've got it covered. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Think crime is bad now? Mandela Barnes would make it worse. Barnes would eliminate cash bail even after the Waukesha Christmas parade attack, supports amnesty and sanctuary cities for illegals, and had worked for a radical group that wants to defund the police. Barnes has a long record of smearing police while spending your tax dollars on security for himself. Mandela Barnes, wrong on crime, dangerous for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hyve Hot Deals are super hot this Friday through Sunday. General Mills family size cereal only $1.99. That Smart cottage cheese only 99 cents. And Hyve One Step potatoes only 99 cents. Check out HyveDeals.com for more deals.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Classes for the new school year are underway at UW-Madison. The enrollment numbers from the university's official census aren't in yet, but it could be the largest class that the school has ever accepted. That would be bigger than last year's freshman class, which was the largest in the institution's history, hitting nearly 8,500. The university's COVID-19 policy will be the same as when students let out for spring. Masks may be worn, but will not be required inside university buildings. Meanwhile, in Waunakee, Josh Sprider stopped by the community school district there to see what it's up to now that class is back in session. Now, one of the areas it's most proud about is the Innovation Center at the high school. This space allows for a more hands-on learning approach.
It's looking at what are those things that we can do within the classroom, such as the Innovation Center and all the other programs here at the school, but it's also trying to figure out how can we kind of incorporate those into things that they can take when they leave here.
Waunakee is also excited about its rebranding, including this new logo for the Warriors. As the district continues to grow, there's a referendum on the ballot this November worth $175 million. This would be for them to build 2 new schools over the next 5 years.
Edgewood College getting 40 acres of farmland in Fitchburg for a new sports and student wellness complex. That land, located near the intersection of Lacey Road and Seminole Highway, just west of the Badger State Trail, was formerly part of a family farm. Officials at Edgewood College say they do not have plans or renderings for that future space just yet, but a master plan from last year showed tennis courts, a baseball field, a soccer stadium, and space for track and field events all included. Tomorrow's your last chance to visit the Madison Night Market this year. That market will wrap up its regular season on State Street, rain or shine, with more than 90 vendors and a full evening of performances. Tomorrow's event will feature a special ribbon-cutting ceremony for Madison's first ever Rainbow Street Crossing, which honors and celebrates the city's LGBTQIA+ community. The ceremony starts at 4 p.m. at the top of State Street. The market runs 4 to 8, and it is free to attend. Now back to Gary, a complete look at your forecast.
I'll go out on a limb and I'll say that it won't be raining tomorrow night. Say rain or shine, it'll be shine tomorrow. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. It'll be warm as well. High temperatures will be in the lower 80s the next couple of days and around 80 degrees for Saturday, but we will see some shower and thunderstorm chances, especially Saturday night and Sunday. They could start as early as Saturday afternoon, and there'll still be a chance of showers and thunderstorms into Monday, but Saturday night and Sunday seem to be the time period most likely to see rain. And then we'll see high temperatures cool off. We'll go from around 80 on Saturday to the upper 60s on Sunday and in the lower 70s 70s for Monday and Tuesday before we get back in the middle 70s by the middle of next week. Tropics getting pretty active. Hurricane Earl, Hurricane Danielle in the Atlantic Ocean. Neither one appears to be a threat to the United States, although Earl may get close to Bermuda. Hurricane K off the Baja Peninsula of Mexico, also staying out to sea. Some of the moisture could make it into parts of Arizona and southeastern portions of California, just bringing a flash flood potential, something they don't need any there. But the other problem is that the counterclockwise wind circulation will force winds through the mountains, causing Santa Ana winds to increase, which dries out the air for the LA basin and continues the heat wave going on there. In fact, you can see much of the west under heat advisories and excessive heat warnings. Heat warnings for much of California, southern Nevada, parts of Arizona, and then heat advisories into Montana, even as far east as Denver and northeastern Colorado. The jet stream is pushed to the north. You can see that big area of high pressure aloft that's just continuing to bake the western half of the nation. Monsoon thunderstorms bringing flash flooding in areas that get the rain, and then other areas getting some dry lightning, which sets off wildfires. And then here's the moisture from K, now getting into parts of southern Arizona and New Mexico. Weather track right now has high pressure just out to the west of us, so our weather pretty clear and warm for September standards. The Earth sinks under high pressure, warms up. Right now, temperatures are still in the 80s for most of the major reporting stations. Milwaukee right now, 77, a bit of a lake breeze there, although the winds are pretty light across the state. Superior also, lake breeze off of Lake Superior, keeping temperatures in the upper 60s there. But dew point temperatures are mainly in the low to mid 60s, 50s in the northern part of the state, so very comfortable. There's not a lot of humid air on the map here, so right now we're looking at dry weather for at least for the next couple of days. Planning your night, 61 for the low in Mount Vernon, 58 in Marshall, 60 in DeForest. There could be some patchy areas of fog overnight across the rest of southern Wisconsin. 60 for the low in Platteville, 61 in Lone Rock, 62 in Prairie du Chien. Here in Madison, look for a low temperature of 60 and some patchy fog possible toward morning. That fog will lift early tomorrow morning. Then we'll see mostly sunny skies. Another warm day with a high temperature of 82 degrees. And as we look at our 7 to 10 day forecast, we're in the lower 80s for Friday. Saturday, around 80 with sunshine in the morning, but clouds moving in the afternoon. Best chances of thunderstorms Saturday night into Sunday, cooling a high temperature down to about 67, around 70 Monday and Tuesday. And then as sunshine returns, we're back in the middle 70s for the latter part of next week. Just some slight chances for showers and thunderstorms.
Gary, thank you. Here's a piece of legislation all Packer fans living in Wisconsin can get behind. Senator Tammy Baldwin reintroducing her Go Pack Go Act. According to Senator Baldwin's website, there are currently 13 counties in the state that are assigned out-of-state local TV markets. Therefore, they can't watch the Packers. These counties run along the borders of Wisconsin, so they're assigned Minnesota and Michigan stations. Senator Baldwin's proposal would ensure that every Wisconsin cable or satellite subscriber in those 13 counties has the choice of receiving an in-state broadcast for every major network. If they choose an in-state network, they will have access to Wisconsin-based news, information, and sports, including those Packer games.
And coming up in sports, this conference schedule is out for the Wisconsin women's basketball team, who the Badgers will face at the Kohl Center this upcoming season. Find out next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I can't believe they're so flexible.
Our new phones or US Cellular?
Both. I was already a customer and I got the latest Galaxy Z Fold 4 free.
Yeah, I just signed up and I got the exact Galaxy Z Flip 4 I wanted for free.
They're like double phones. It feels like we got twice as much phone for free. Do they know what a steal that is?
I hope they never flip and find out.
New and current customers can choose any new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 or Z Fold 4 free. Only at US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
You've probably heard by now, but Waunakee Remodeling has been transforming homes for the better part of half a century by installing materials that stand the test of time from a team of trusted home pros. Our design team delivers a turnkey experience for your interior or exterior remodeling project, leaving you with a home you love. At Waunakee Remodeling, we'll never stop improving. Right now, get a special window offer. 25% off each window, plus 12 months, no payment, no interest financing. Visit WaunakeeRemodeling.com for more.
Boys just eat and eat and eat and grow and grow and grow. We watch every penny that we spend. Joe Biden knows what it's like for working families. Just look at what he's been doing. Biden just helped pass the Inflation Reduction Act. Not only is it the strongest action on prescription drugs in years, it's the strongest action on combating climate change ever. And it's going to lower the cost of our energy bills and lower the cost of prescription drugs and healthcare. This is going to change our lives. And Joe Biden got it done.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since a great supportive care came to see me. They're taking the time to listen and talk about options for feeling better.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Our back-to-school week continues in the 6-0 way. Today we took you to Waunakee High School. Tomorrow we're headed to Verona Area School District.
Will we experience more fog for your morning commute? Tune in tomorrow from 4:30 to 7.
In her first year with Wisconsin women's basketball, Marissa Mosley led the Badgers to 5 Big Ten wins, the most the program's had since the 2014-2015 season. Now in year 2, the plans to do even better. Today, UW unveiled its conference schedule, and Wisconsin starts off the year with a bang, hosting Iowa on December 4th. Badgers have home and homes with the Hawkeyes, Gophers, Spartans, Wildcats, and Scarlet Knights in their 18-game league slate. Verona boys soccer always seems to have a target on their back, and this year's no different. The Wildcats are ranked #1 in Division I and currently undefeated. And as Jordan Reed found out, for this group, being at the top, well, that's just the expectation.
Verona's no stranger to the spotlight,
Our common theme is always hard work.
as they've been at the top of the high school game for several years.
I don't think there's been much pressure as far as being the best team. I think we've been here for a couple of years now, so we kind of know what to expect.
But the last 2 seasons have ended in heartbreaking fashion, with the Wildcats coming up short in the playoffs. That's why this season, they've got something to prove.
I think the guys have come back with kind of a chip on their shoulder, motivated to go a little bit further than they did last year.
And they know it won't be an easy task.
Everybody's looking at us now as the team to beat. You know, every game that we go into, everybody wants to beat Verona, and that's honestly the best feeling, knowing that you're one of the best teams in the state.
We just keep telling them you've got a target on your back. You know, everybody knows who you are, who's on our team, and you just got to be prepared every day that they want to come in. You know, they want to get the best of us.
But in order to be the last team standing,
Ultimately, everybody knows what the goal is on this team, and I think we all, as the coaching staff and teammates, are all here putting in the best work. So when November comes, we'll be in that game.
this group is sticking to the basics and taking it one match at a time. In Verona, Jordan Reed, News 3 Sports.
Rubber match between the Brewers and Rockies. Eric Lawler is 0-4 lifetime at Coors Field, and he'd stay winless in Denver. He pitched 2 2/3, giving up 7 runs before leaving with an injury. Brewers lose again, 8-4. And be sure to tune in to tonight's Badger Blueprint during the News 3 Now at 10. And Jim Polzine and I look back at Wisconsin's big win over Illinois State and preview this Saturday's matchup with Washington State.
Should be a little bit tougher for Washington State.
I was going to say Brewers, they might just
I'm
cancel
trying to
the
forget
season.
that right now. I'm just trying to move on. That's been pretty much bad.
Clearly,
July.
you're not doing a good job of moving on.
We know. No, I'm not. I'm quite angry about it. Gary's here. Final check of the forecast.
Well, sunny skies out there right now. There's the live view from the WISC sky cam looking off toward the east. The clouds are almost all gone, and there weren't very many to begin with. Platteville Queen Radio sky cam perfectly clear right now as we head towards sunset. Temperatures range from the upper 70s to the lower 80s. Madison, Janesville, 81, 82 in Prairie du Chien right now. Here in Dane County, those temperatures mainly in the lower 80s, although it's 79 in the town of Perry, but 81 right now in McFarland, 81 in Stoughton. Look for temperatures to drop off into the upper 60s by late evening. Julian Seawright over here at 10.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.